Hi, friends. Welcome back. So, headline Tesla shares closed down 12% after earnings miss for biggest slump since 2020. These were the headlines back in July of this year. And essentially, Tesla earnings are coming out tomorrow. And will history repeat itself? That's what we're going to be watching for. If you're interested in this, and I think it's honestly really fun, we're going to do a live stream of the Tesla earnings tomorrow. Please stop by the channel. And the question I pose is Tesla going bankrupt? So stop by the channel. It'll be tomorrow. So I want to go over what are the big questions that everyone's asking regarding Tesla. Obviously we talk a lot about Elon Musk on the channel, and essentially this is the most interesting story on the market. As of now, the stock's basically flat in the past year. So you can see it's up 2.78%, down 0.22 in the aftermarket. So it's pretty much flat. I think it's going to be really interesting because people have all kinds of questions. I tend to live stream it, and we're going to see if these questions are addressed. So these are questions coming in from retail, and we're going to just go by what's the most popular ones. So question number one for Tesla, is Tesla on track to deliver the more affordable model next year, as mentioned by Elon earlier, and how does it align with your AI and product roadmap? So a lot of questions on here. This is the number one question people are asking. It's interesting because for Elon, they came out and they said, "Hey, we got this, Robo van thing." Honestly, no one was asking for that. So, and initially when I heard the rumors of the Robo van, I thought it was going to be more like delivery thing. So there's that. They introduced the Robotaxi stuff. There was no mention of the affordable model. So I think, that's the number one question. So it's kind of odd that they didn't announce that. We'll see if they say anything in earnings. I kind of think they're not going to say anything, but we'll see. They may hint at it. How does it align with your AI and product roadmap? So the AI stuff, the thing with Elon, he's spending more time on XAI, which is more connected to Twitter, or even a separate entity altogether from both Twitter and from Tesla. We'll see what they say though. I know that some of the other people out there will try to tell you that Tesla is an AI company. My opinion, it is, well, not opinion, just based on numbers. They sell cars. That's where most of the revenue comes from. It's a car company, so it's kind of interesting that that's the number one question though. Here's another second question. When can we expect Tesla to give us the 25K non-Robotaxi regular car model? God, that's question number two. The thing is with Tesla, guys, this is where they've really missed the ball on their business. So one of the major strategies for most car companies is you have a cheap, affordable car. You get people introduced to your brand. After they like your brand, they're comfortable with it, etc., then they start to move up the scale, right? So you start with the cheap one, then you get the more expensive one, and then you move into the bigger one, and then the even bigger one, right? So without this 25K car, their customer base will just never be that large. That's just the reality of it. And I've said this all along, for all those Tesla stock promoters that are telling you that Tesla's going to grow forever, it's just not possible if you don't have an affordable vehicle that everyone can, buy. The same way that, say, something like a BMW, just for example, it's not for everyone. Now, you can make the case that Tesla's not for everyone, but that's not the case that they make. They always make the case that Tesla's going to be the most awesome company in the whole world. But if people can't afford it, how are you going to, sell a bazillion cars to everyone? So this is actually a key question. So again, they want a 25K, and to come under 25K, we'll see. If you guys follow my channel, I cover a couple of Korean brands, both Kia and Hyundai. We also talk about BMW, etc. You can find my videos on that. I'll just say there are competitors out there. The competition is here, not just coming, but it's here. So we'll see what does. And then I have not seen the BYD myself, but when they get a chance, I'll definitely make a video on that. Here's another one. What is Tesla doing to alleviate long waiting times on service centers? Wow. Yeah, so my understanding of this, and it's kind of interesting, like the questions that people are asking, it tells you where people's minds are. My understanding on this stuff is that Tesla's laid off a lot of employees. So I guess their service is really poor right now. If you guys have a Tesla, please let me know your experiences. Again, this is just coming from the official questions that retail investors are asking Tesla and want Elon to answer. So yeah, cheap cars. What's wrong with the long service times, etc. What's another one? Please provide an update on the Semi. What will the next stage of the growth look like, and when will FSD be ready? So there's a couple questions in here. So the semi stuff, from my understanding, they had that big accident in California recently. There's a massive fire. If you guys saw it, it's pretty awful, really, because these semis need really, really big batteries. And if there's any kind of accident, right, it can burn for a long time, and it's shut down the highway. I think it was like for maybe half a day, something like that. The other thing with the semi, Pepsi did buy some, but it was under heavy subsidization of the state of California. Could these things theoretically, be success for Tesla? Maybe. I'm just telling the truth. Maybe. They've been trying to say, hey, we're going to roll these things out in Europe. They may roll out more, but will it really move the needle in terms of the revenue? I highly doubt it, would be my opinion on that. But we'll see what they say. What will the next stage of growth look like, and when will FSD be ready? It may never be ready. The problem is that they're cameras only. Now, I'm sure that Elon's going to tell you next year. The one key thing, and well, there's two key things. So one is they've been offering it free again. So that shows you they have a demand problem, right? They can't get enough people to buy it, so they got to give it to you for free. There's always been issues on whether or not you can transfer FSD from one car to another. That's not asked here, but I'm just mentioning this kind of stuff. And the other thing I was thinking about with the FSD stuff is there's a new investigation onto them on whether or not this is like all their cars, on whether or not FSD works with visual problems like too much sun, rain, dark, at night, etc. So I'm sure they'll say next year, but I think it's not ready. Another question: when will Tesla incorporate X and Grok in all Tesla vehicles? Okay. So I don't know how important this is to people. Maybe it is. To be fair to X, then now they have like some streaming content on there and video content. So if you want to listen to videos or essentially podcasts in Tesla, it wouldn't be crazy. It seems like you should be able to do that now with your phone. But the question would be, would it be easier in being integrated? One thing I will say though is that for many Tesla customers, they're turned off to X. Because X is really leaning right wing. If you remember, the history of Tesla, essentially, their initial customer base were people who cared about the environment. They largely lived in California, and that doesn't necessarily match well with the users of X. So, whether or not current Tesla owners want X or Grok, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Grok would be an interesting one. But like, how many things do you need your car to do? And Apple has a similar kind of stuff now, and so does Google Android of like ask, I don't want to say it because my phone will trigger, but ask your assistant for help. But interesting questions though that people are asking. What's going on with the Tesla Roadster? I think that's a fair question. It was not mentioned at all at the Tesla Robotaxi event. Tesla's been holding people's deposits for a long time. Still no Roadster. So where is it, Elon? Please tell me. What's the plan for 2025? So chances are they're going to say we're going to try to roll out, robotaxis in China. My understanding, though, the headlines came out recently that they're being delayed in China. It was just a report recently, this is coming directly from China, that the approvals aren't coming nearly as fast as Tesla had projected. Theoretically, boy, robotaxis by the end of 2025, they may give that kind of projections. The thing is with this kind of stuff with 2025, regarding the robotaxi stuff, there hasn't been any rumors or announcements that they're getting approvals in various cities to even test these things on the road, let alone even build enough of them to really make meaningful tests. So we'll see what they say here. But I think people are going to be concerned about what's going on with the cheap car. What else we got here? Elon mentioned unsupervised FSD in California and Texas next year. Does that mean regulators have agreed to it in entire state for existing HW3, IB hardware 3 and 4 vehicles? So this is an important question. And if you don't know this, Tesla's regulations team have basically been resigned, essentially, so that they're not there. So the people that would try to get regulations passed, or you could say the vehicles passed through regulations, a better way to say it, in California and Texas aren't there. So I'm sure I'm sure Elon will give some a rigmarole, but and also, to be fair to Tesla, I'm sure they've promoted some people, but the experienced people are gone. So it'll be really tough to get it through regulations. Good luck with that. Will hardware 3 be capable of FSD5? Well, and this is part of false advertising for Tesla. They've been saying that all of the cars are, capable of FSD, but that may never come to pass if FSD is camera only. So there's that. Well, we'll see what they say. What else we got here? Can we get more details surrounding the Robotaxi, including how will Tesla deploy the fleet? Will it start with Robotaxi, then move on to subscription model if you own a Tesla? Subscription model, interesting. So I guess some people, I guess you would pay a monthly fee to Tesla to have your car be a Robotaxi. Honestly, this whole Robotaxi stuff, I don't know how many people are really gonna want to do this. Like, do you want a stranger in your car when you're not there? I just think you're asking for all kinds of problems with that. The other issue is what are insurance companies going to say? And this would be my number one question for probably this Robotaxi stuff, let alone does the technology even work? So there's that. Yeah, but you got insurance problems and they're asking like subscription models. So that's interesting. To be fair to Tesla, if you have enough cult members and you can fleece them for subscriptions, why not? These people are fools enough to give you money, and why not get more money from them? So there's that. So they might make money from that. Who knows? We'll see. Will Tesla shareholders get priority when it comes to investing in SpaceX once SpaceX goes public? Okay, so someone mentioned this before in a comment just recently, that many Tesla people actually think when they invest in Tesla, they're also investors in SpaceX. I just want to tell you the truth. You are not an investor in SpaceX if you're an investor in Tesla. I know it's like such a ridiculous thing to think, but some people think that, right? They think, oh, well, Elon's awesome with SpaceX, therefore I buy Tesla. But guys, they're separate companies. Now, could Elon give, some sort of benefit to, get Tesla, SpaceX stocks if they go public, et cetera, if you're a Tesla shareholder? Maybe. Who knows what they're doing over there? Will SpaceX go public? I think there's a possibility of that. So I really do. So theoretically, if you want to invest in SpaceX, you could hold a share of Tesla to take advantage of that. But we'll see what they say. I was saying theoretically, if this ends up being, I think SpaceX will end up being a crazy meme stock, just like Tesla, and it'll be interesting to watch. When will Optimus begin shipping? I'm pretty sure they'll say next year. Who's going to buy these things? And the problem is, guys, is you may not know this. I talked before in another video about this, tell you now. Hyundai and Toyota have partnership to build a humanoid robot. I personally think human robots are dead end, but I'm just telling you there is competition out there. And already Boston Dynamics was ahead of Tesla, but now you have, again, Boston Dynamics, which is part of Hyundai. They're teaming up with Toyota. Toyota's going to do the AI. Boston Dynamics and Hyundai are going to do the hardware. They're going to clobber Optimus, I promise you. Plus, you have a lot of other competition as well. Elon's, I think they're trying to say they're going to try to get the robot to 30,000, but I don't think there's going to be that many, customers out there for this thing. I think it's an interesting party trick, right? But will people actually buy it? Who knows? We'll see what they say. I bet you they'll say next year. All these things will be next year. What is the expected timeline of RoboVan production? That's so far away. I bet you they're going to say it'll be 2 years. I don't think it'll be next year. It could be next year. Who knows? What else we got? Will the all-wheel drive Cybertruck qualify for federal tax credit in the near future? So my understanding, there was a report recently that Cybertruck prices have gone down like by 20K. And this has actually been a big problem for Tesla, is again lack of demand, and so they're lowering prices on their vehicles. It was just came out today, like I think it was like $3,000 or $4,000 on all their vehicles. I just saw it, and also too that they're offering like 0% financing, this kind of stuff. Basically, their margins are going to take a real hit in their earnings, so it will be fun to watch for that. Whether or not they're going to lower the Cybertruck pricing more. They need to move these things, right? You can't just have them sitting on the lot. So essentially what you can do for Tesla is you can try to pump up your revenue, but take hits on profits. And sometimes you can fool retail investors in thinking that's a good thing, because that's what the Tesla stock promoters do. They say, oh, guys, look at our revenue's growing. And then they completely ignore profits and earnings, which is kind of ludicrous. I just tell you guys everything as best as I can. How about this one? Do you have plans to expand Tesla insurance to more states in the near future? Interesting. So I asked members of the community about Tesla insurance. This is my understanding of it. So people said that you can get it in some places, but that the customer service isn't great. And I wouldn't be shocked if that is the case. So I have no experience with Tesla insurance myself, but in my opinion, if you're gonna get insurance, probably better off just getting it through a separate, third-party insurance company, because that's their business. Tesla already has, as you saw literally from their questions here, service problems, as issues of too slow, etc. At their service centers, and I'm sure their Tesla insurance service and customer service is probably not great either. So I probably would stay away from that. Now, to be fair to them, also too, maybe it might end up being that Robotaxi insurance, maybe the only way to get it is through Tesla insurance, and that could be a way for Tesla to basically take money from you. We'll see how many people go for that. So we'll see. Can you provide some clarity on the energy generation and storage business in the light rapidly increasing power demand? So their energy business actually is growing. This is probably the highlight of theirs, but the problem is it's so small. A portion of revenue, I think probably looking at 1 to 2%, something like that. And you guys can quote me the exact percentage of their revenue comes from energy, but it is growing. So yes, that's completely true. It's totally growing. The other issue as well is there's a ton of competition in this space, but as I just did a video before, it looks like Trump is looking to give tax credits to generator type stuff. So this is kind of interesting because if Trump wins, maybe he'll get tax credits to help, this area. Now, I don't think though you're going to get the car tax credits that was under Biden, the electric car stuff than under Trump, but you never know what kind of deal Elon has. What else we got here? Can we get an update on lower price vehicle models that are supposed to come to production early next year? Good luck with that. A couple of things, guys, and there's more questions. You can, read through yourself. I just went through the most popular ones. Some of the questions I had, just kind of off the top of my head, and I'd be curious, please write in the comments the questions you have. But here's some. Will you be selling stock in 2025 in the near future? I think that's a real possibility that Elon will be selling. If Trump wins the presidency, will you be leaving Tesla? Again, another question that I have. Is there a succession plan if you plan to step down? Yeah. One of the things that the rumor's been before is that essentially the second command could be the head of China. I think his name is Tom Ju. And Tom, he's a Chinese national. If he were to take over Tesla, I think after that point, it's just going to be Chinese government controlled. So we'll see if Elon ever steps down and that ends up being the case. So that would be my kind of prediction for who second in command is, a Chinese national, but we'll see. Do you think your political moves hurt the brand? Again, these are just questions I have. I don't think they're going to answer it, but someone could ask. It's possible. And will you commit to focusing on Tesla? I think this is a legitimate question. Obviously people can break their word. Elon does it all the time. But my main concern if I were a Tesla shareholder is, dude, are you committing to being a Tesla CEO and not off doing other things? I think that's a fair thing to say. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on this stuff. So that's the popular questions coming in from Tesla stock earnings. Again, we're having a live stream tomorrow. Please stop by. I think it's going to be entertaining and fun to see how they dance around as they try to answer all the questions presented before them. I'll catch you all in the next video.